Yo, my peoples, I'm Amy.e, and welcome to the 47th episode of EasyCast. Yes, it is just me, but that's okay. This is the first time, but I have producer Jibril with me today. You can pan the camera on yourself if you'd like to do that. Oh, okay. That's not a great start. Put it back on me. That's enough of you. That's enough of you. Hey, but I do have our friends Stewie and Morp. Yeah, Stewie, Morp. Yeah, I was thinking, I used to send, I still send like 20 to 30-minute voice messages to my mum like every night, and my dad as well. I send like 10-minute voice messages. So I think I'll be okay. I think it'll be a W yap session, but
Yeah, of
that
course.
that sounded very cringe, but that's okay. So first, let's get into a bit of nitty gritties, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw someone walk past, even though it's Easter right now. But obviously we don't celebrate Easter. That's okay. Yeah. So, how would you say your time management has been recently?
Not too good.
Not too great.
Nah.
Why would that be?
Wasting my time in a lot of things I shouldn't be.
Okay.
Sleep, phone, and then like put my homework, schoolwork last thing. I was rushing it.
Mhm. Why do you think you do that? Like, what makes you think that you're doing something like that?
Got no idea, and I just don't want to start.
Okay. But what about the end goal?
And
What's
go.
no. What's your end goal?
I don't know. Still don't have one. Thinking of it.
Okay. But I think if you put yourself an end goal, you'll get more motivation to do the things that you want to do. Like for example, I don't know. Let's say this year for me, my end goal is I want to go and do the same, program like the Japanese language exchange as I did last year. Oh, I mean it was this year, but next year in January, February. Um, so because of that, I've made it clear, like for example, in when I'm working and all of that to my my new boss and blah blah blah, and to my parents and whatnot, that is a goal that I want to do. So if that's a goal that I want to do, then I've made it prominent. Like I've chosen that goal, I'm gonna work towards it. So now it's like I have like assignments that are coming. I don't have too much uni work compared to last year. I'm able to fit in work now, like actual proper work. But now I'm actually focused. I'm thinking about, okay, I got something given that's due in like a week and a half. Just it's easier than it sounds to just say, actually, you know what? It's the opposite. It's easier to just leave it. I don't know how to explain it. It's not easier than it sounds, but it's the opposite of easier than it sounds. It's harder than it sounds. No, yeah, it's harder than no. It sounds harder than what it is. That's what I meant. It sounds harder than what it is. Like all you have to do is just gotta. No one's gonna do it except you. You know what I mean? So you're gonna start doing it.
Hopefully.
Okay, that's
Of course,
good.
try.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing but me stopping myself.
That's true. That's true. Look, this is a first. This is the first time I'm doing it by myself. So, like, yeah, recently, vibe's been a little bit dead. But today's a sunny day. It's beautiful. Go outside, have some chill times. I'm just thinking like, what to talk about. What to talk about. Well, I got a list of topics here. Okay. Um, let's see. Interesting one. What's your opinion on you know relationships at the moment? You can put it on yourself, or you can put the camera closer to the mic closer to you if you really want.
Look, personally, I don't know much. Obviously,
Mhm.
Muslims and all that relationships aren't allowed to obviously till you get married.
Mhm.
Not married, but like engaged.
Mhm.
That right age.
Mhm. Mhm.
And a lot of relationships right now are just like to say you're in one.
Mhm.
I know, like a lot of people just say, "Oh yeah, I'm with this chick because she's hot." This and that. A lot. As I'm just trying to say, a lot of them
Yeah.
are not really in it for the love. They're all just in it for side quests.
So- yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the focus is lost. Like the focus is not there when it's done at this moment. Maybe like for me it's different because I am 21 now, but almost 21. But I still think I last year when I first started the podcast, like I'm just gonna give you, this is W app session. I'm gonna give you like a breakdown of my goals and what's happened and how like where I'm up to now to really put on to that point. Because I don't think I've never really spoken too much about myself. You know what? I'm gonna talk about this too. I've always just like when there's people on, either if it's people other than my brother, like more than just my brother, then I'm just thinking about how to get the conversation going for them, like catering towards them.
Yeah.
But this is the first time, and even when my brother's here, I make sure that I'm not buddying. I'm trying to listen, and if it means that he's talking more than me, then that's fine. But I'll post questions, whatever. I'll just let him go. I'll be the instigator, but I won't be the one talking the most. So this is the first time I'm talking a lot compared to most people. So I feel like I'm actually talking about stuff I've wanted to talk about for a while, and I don't mind doing solo episodes. If people can't do a podcast and blah blah. Blah. But yeah. So 2022. Let's put it all the way back then. I wonder what the white shot looks like, by the way, just quickly. Yeah, it looks really boring, really lonely, but it's okay. You can put it on the white shot whenever you want. Whenever you feel like, not like last episode where you were forgetting. Yeah, you can't be on your phone this time. Yeah, make sure it's on silent. Yeah, because you actually get caught. The camera might be on you. Anyway, so you can put it back on me if you really want. You just when you decide, however you want it, you do it. Okay. All right. So 2022. Let's go all the way back then. I think beginning like end of 2021. That's when so that's 6 months being back in Australia after living in Lebanon.
Yeah.
Okay. I was still in my editing era for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But I decided, you know what? I think it's time to just like focus up and try to get like the real world experience, because you got to start preparing at some point. You can't live in like bliss, it's called, But I have another point on that. I'm going to write it down because I don't want to forget it. I just have things I want to talk about, and I don't want to forget it. I'm just going to write bliss. Okay. Yeah. So you can't. I wrote bloss, even though I meant bliss, but it's okay. You can't live your whole life thinking, okay, it's gonna like nothing's gonna happen for you. You have to do it. That as we spoke about in the beginning. So I just said, you know what? If my main goal is to actually get married and in the end have children, inshallah, if God wills, and raise them up, be good, blah blah blah, then and get good deeds from that, and then because of that, go to heaven, hopefully, inshallah. Inshallah, we all go heaven. Inshallah, everyone listening goes heaven, and yeah. So if I want to do that, that's the main end goal. I've spoken about this before. So I said, you know what? That's going to be my main end goal. How am I going to achieve that? There's a lot of steps that come through that. So my first thing was like, okay, I need to get a bit of real world experience. Can I really do something on my own just yet? And me now realizing how I was then, like what I had in terms of experience then was like, this guy knew nothing, absolutely nothing. Like I was so bad when it came to just even when it meant like confidence talking on the phone. Like I couldn't speak on the phone properly, and just speaking to new people. Yes, speaking to girls that's just like cross like that. Don't even think about it. It's not happening. It's not happening. Guys, maybe, maybe there's a chance. There was a chance. If it's not online, there was a chance. But girls, like, don't even think about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Which obviously is not necessarily a bad thing, but it is kind of like it's just kind of weak in it. Like you're not able to just speak to someone just because they're the opposite gender. Blah blah blah. So that was me at the end of around the end of 2021. I was good when it came to focusing on doing my studies. I've always been good in that because my dad, I'm the first project, so I have to. They put a lot of effort in me, and then it gets kind of lost, and then it gets put back in, and then it got lost again. But we don't talk about. I have three siblings, so it was put on me. My brother maybe not so much, and then my first sister, yeah, the last sister not so much. Oh wait, I have four siblings. I forgot to have a baby brother. I forgot to have a brother. Yeah, 18-year difference, by the way, crazy. Yeah. But yeah, so. No, I didn't mean to shot at anyone there, but I'm just saying. So because of that, like I've had a lot of high standards to be able to to follow. Um, and so I always have been doing something, what's it called? Time management, not procrastinating, doing my work ahead of time, blah, blah, blah. So when it came to studying, that like I was on top of studying. Like that's fine. I was always on top of that. But when it came to life experience, when it came to I thought we had 16 minutes. I'm like, damn, I've really talked. When it came to when it came to like those types of things, I was like a baby, right? So I think the first step to initiate something in your life, to get out of the bubble, to do something different for yourself so that you're not the same as everyone else, is to early on in your life, which is like around now. So even your time now. You're how old are you now?
16.
Yep. That's even earlier than me. So was it? Yeah, I was like 17 when I was like, I'm gonna focus on my stuff. So if you just focus up like right now, perfect age, right? So I just said, you know what? I'm gonna focus on it, and I set the goal of, okay, I want to get into heaven. How am I gonna get into that? I want to have good deeds that last. How am I gonna get into that? How am I gonna have that? I want to have children that are able to do that for me, to live on the legacy kind of thing, um, and and just obviously me doing good deeds in general and spreading that. But the main thing that's going to continue it is going to be my children, inshallah. Um, and so in order to have that, obviously you gotta have a wife, that's kind of standard. You'd expect it.
Yeah.
And then before that, that's where you really have to focus. How do you go from now, like from where you're at right now, to marriage? Like what is in between was like gray space for me. I didn't know. So I spoke with parents, spoke with other people, and I just said, what can I do to work on myself? And I'm not trying to talk. I'm not trying to make this episode about me, but I know it sounds like I'm making it about me. But I'm just using this as an example, only because I've made mistakes, and I'll get through, some of them, blah blah blah. But I'm just using this as an example of something that you can use to be able to attain some like what I'm trying to attain as well. To be at level. I'm not saying at a high level. I'm not trying to boast myself, but I'm just saying this because some people take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
So I'm not just what's it called? Disclaimer. I'm not boasting about myself. I am just trying to use it as a bit of an example. Okay. So continuing. Yeah. So I spoke to everyone. I saw. I asked my aunties, some friends, my parents, siblings, blah, blah, like what is exactly that I have to focus on? What do I have to work on? And obviously, we're not perfect. We have sins. We have this and we have that. And so I wrote down a list of everything that I was doing wrong and everything that I could improve on, things that I have to gain as well. And so, I did a bit of an effort to be able to find something that can help me attain this one main thing that you cannot attain just by just like that, life experience. You can't attain that without it's just time. Time is what gives you life experience, because even like last year I made mistakes that I think about, they're just so stupid, like they're so cringy, and I'm thinking, really, like I did that then, and then now I see myself as like the highest version of myself at the moment. um and so like I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying?
Like you see yourself at the highest that you are.
Good, you're paying attention. That was on purpose. Yeah, I was testing you. um, so yeah, I was saying like, you know, uh, fully blanked out. Damn it! No, I was hoping this doesn't happen. Huh?
So there goes the content.
Yeah, the content's gone. No, it's fine. I'll track it back. Life experience with time. Yeah. So I was saying like even now, through time, it's been how many years since I decided to do that? It's been like two years, two and a half. No, it's 2.5 years now since I decided to um, fix myself up. 2.5 years later, and after 2 years, I was still making mistakes that I'm like, I can't learn it unless I have life experience. Right? Life experience is, I think, the number one thing. You can have everything else, but life experience will give you exactly what you need. It's like you can't attain it just like that. Like at the moment, people that are interested in marriage and whatnot. I was interested in marriage in 2022. I was ready to, that's what that was my goal. So I worked towards it, and I'll get to how I was working towards it. But like working towards it, I realize now that when I said I was ready then, I was not ready then. I like it's impossible for me to have been ready then. Now seeing myself now. And then even last year, if I was to say that I was ready then, I was not ready then. And then that's what just through that time I was able to understand why I'm not ready, and how to become ready is not you can do so much by yourself and like, learning and blah blah blah, but there's so much you have to learn just by giving it some time, by putting yourself in uncomfortable positions, putting yourself in a bit more like workforce, getting yourself ready for that type of thing. Um, and so it took 2 years, but after 2 years, I came to realization like, okay, you know what? Uh, I'm gonna focus on a bit more of uni, focus on getting more work experience and stuff like that, and then if something happens, then inshallah something happens. But before we get to that point, so I still think setting that as a goal and making yourself, it's kind of like faking it till you make it. Making yourself ready for marriage, is like that will tick off everything that you need as a person to be like the best. You know what I mean? If you want to be the best of the best in your generation, in your social circle, and just everyone in this day and age, like, because right now everyone's the same. Everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone's just yibbity yibbity, like everyone's doing, like, no one's unique. No one's different anymore. So how do you make yourself unique? Is by actually being a better person. Surprisingly, it's because being more mature. That's the right word. Being more mature and still having fun. You know me. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm mature when it comes to things that I need to be mature about. But I'll still have fun. I'm really weird, and I do other things. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that I won't focus on the things that need to be focused on. I could be. I think that's where, like, there's a uniqueness when it comes to, like, okay, I'll focus on my work. I'll do all of that. But then I might have the most nerdiest type of, like, weeb thing that I do or know just on the side for fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like they don't, like, the idea of maturism doesn't have to be correlated to, oh, you're an adult now, like, it's khalas, you're done. Like, it's khalas in Arabic, it means like stop, like, you're done, it doesn't mean that. It means, you're able to focus on the correct things and the things that, so that you can have fun and you can entertain yourself with the other things that you want to do. You can pursue your hobbies, pursue, fun things and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, so I set a list for myself and I just worked towards that throughout the year of 2022. I was able to get a cadetship in, like, engineering, which is what I am doing. Architectural engineering is my degree. So I, you know, work towards it and learn everything from the ground up. And there's still so much more for me to learn. But at the time, I knew absolutely zero. The real world type of work compared to what you learn in uni is very, very different. And so learning it just by working, which is the real life experience that I'm talking about, helped me gain a lot of attributes. For example, being able to, I think, in, like, for uni, I think uni can give you this if you take it seriously, is being able to work well under pressure. Being able to have, when you have lots of assignments and you're able to assign things. So time management, I think uni and work, that helps to give you time management, because you have to think about, you have work at this day, you have to do this, you have these things you need to get done for work, but you also have these things you need to get done for uni. How are you going to sort that? That's when time management comes in. And I think one of the main things is, how in, have you watched Karate Kid?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Everyone should know.
Yeah, everyone should have watched. But I mean, like, the Will Smith one, right? I don't know if it's in the old one because I never watched the old one. But the scene where he keeps having to put the jacket up and then take it down, the jacket up, take it down, and he does it, and that's it, right? And it's like, why is he doing that so much? And then by the end of it, you realize it's, I believe it's like to master patience and technique and blah blah blah, and all these, like, things that, these attributes. It's mainly about patience, right?
Yeah.
And so, it when you're doing it, it doesn't look like it's like when you're watching him do that, you're like, what's the point? Why is he getting him to do that? But then by the end of it, you realize, okay, there was a big lesson throughout it all. Um, so I think there was something similar that happened to me at work. Basically, the receptionist lady had like something. She had a reaction to dyeing her hair, and she had to go to hospital. She was gone for about a month, so a month with no receptionist. Um, and so I was the new cadet, so the new intern at the time. So
Yeah.
like, okay, you know what? You can be the receptionist. So I was doing receptionist work whilst also doing stuff for the faculty that I was in. Sorry, which was estimating. So calculating or estimating how much a building will cost based on plans, before it's built. Um, and so I would do a bit of that work, but my main job was also more receptionism. Receptionism sounds like racism, like receptionist. All right, cross out of the notification there so I can see the time. 1 second. Don't press stop recording yet. Don't accidentally press stop recording yet. Okay, move the mouse away. I don't want to see
It's
it.
alright.
Okay, I'm scared. Um, so it came back again. But you know what? These antivirus softwares are become a virus software with all their pop-ups. I'm not joking. I put in a USB, boom, 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 all these pop-ups. It's just annoying. Anyway, so I had to be a receptionist for about a month. To me, it was the most boring thing on the planet because I would sit there for like 8 9 hours, and I would just sit in a chair. I do whatever I had to do for my work, like for estimating, but then other than that, because I'm not actually, they're two different levels. So I'm not on the level where they're doing the estimation. I'm not on the level where I'm with my mentor or whatever. So they kind of just give me the scraps. I wasn't really being focused on, and then I was just doing receptionist. Uh, but what receptionist taught me, the first day that they said you're going to be a receptionist, I shat my pants. I'm like, what? Because I knew all I'm gonna be doing now is answering all these calls. And you gotta remember, before that, I was like, I had that bit of the nervous feeling of, oh, I don't want to call them, blah blah blah. And that's a very normal thing. A lot of people do have that, like, nowadays, which is understandable. Okay, like, it is a bit weak, but that's how you have to.
Bro.
That's how you learn, right?
Yeah.
So, um, I realized, okay, the perfect timing was when the other cadet was showing me what to do. He got a call at the time that he was showing me what to do. So it was like a tutorial just in live action. So he was just like, so we have to do this, blah, 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 blah. And then when you get a call, brrr, someone calls, picks it up, and he just explains, like he's doing the call
And
whilst explaining to me. And I'm like, well, this is just perfect timing. And so I was like, okay, should be fine. And obviously, for the first week, you make mistakes and whatnot. I don't know what these people are talking about, what person I have to transfer this call to, and then I have to meet other people. And being a receptionist, by the way, it's like, you only think about the calls and whatnot that you get, but there's so much more to it. You have a connection to everyone. It's like you're like the middle ground, right? Because everyone comes to you for everything when it comes to the small things, to connect to other people, organizing this meeting, doing this, that. And not that I did all of that. I, like, a lot of the time I had to put it onto other faculties because I wasn't, like, I'm new. I don't know what to do.
yeah, yeah.
um, but because of all of those, like, little connections, I was able to learn a lot from everyone, and I was able to communicate with a lot of people. Um, and I think that was the main thing that allowed me to gain my first bit of confidence, right? So if you're worried about confidence, the only way to gain it really is to put yourself out there a little bit more. Um, and that's what I felt like it did. I gained more confidence. And so you don't really see it whilst you're in it, just like the jacket exercise in Karate Kid. But at the end, you realize what you gained out of it, right? So that's kind of like how I parallel them together.
Mm.
And so um, after um, I would move on to different faculties, go to site, do all these things, and just do a lot of repetitive work. But it's repetitive, but it's good. It's engraving it in your brain. And whilst all this is happening, I'm focusing on uni. There's some hard subjects. I had to really focus. I almost failed one. I had to redo an exam whilst I was traveling.
No way.
Yeah. So I was in Lebanon. we came back from traveling, and it really broke my heart, like being having to redo this exam because I had to redo an exam the year before that, during COVID. So
Yeah.
we were locked out. We were still in Lebanon. I was still living in Lebanon at the time,
Yeah.
and my camera's gone.
Oh.
You can, it's fine. You can put wide angle, wide angle. I can't really stop. Now usually someone's talking,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I change the camera battery. But um, give it 1 second. You talk. You say something. Put it
I
on you.
talk.
Say something, and I'll continue the story because it's a little bit
Ah.
interesting. Put the camera on you.
I don't know what to say. Uh, I'm new, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
How do you feel about doing a podcast?
I was a bit nervous, you know.
nervous?
A lot, you know, seeing a lot of people are gonna be seeing me.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I still don't know what to say, you know. Bit camera shy.
Yeah. I think the first time that we did it too, it's the same thing. You don't expect it. I was hyping everyone up.
No way.
I was hyping everyone up saying, no, 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 it's going to be fine. We're going to do it. As soon as the camera's turned on, I was...
You like a
yeah.
bit camera shy. You
Yeah, I
still
was camera
quiet.
shy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got quiet. I didn't know what to say. And then, but like the main thing that I learned was being able to watch myself and not cringe.
Fair.
Do you think you're going to be able to watch this video back and look at
No
yourself
way.
on the camera?
I was just quiet most of the time. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So
On
I mean,
purpose
there's not much.
or-
There's not much to watch besides like right now and like 2 seconds before. But it's alright. You know, you only learn. You only learn.
Exactly. I mean, that's what you're learning in this podcast, aren't you? Yeah.
Exactly.
Beneficial podcast.
Exactly.
Yep. All right. It's saying that it's a bit hot, but it's okay. All right. Should be okay. Let me know if the camera's blurry. It is very blurry. 1 second.
Oh, you're back with me today. All right. You know, it's not the Easy Cast podcast. It's a Jublizzy cast, huh?
No one's laughing.
I'm
I'm joking.
laughing.
It's good. It's good. It's good. Let's see. It should be good now. All right. There you go. Anyway, thank you for that nice little switch up. Next time we can just go on the wide angle, you know, just to make it a bit more smoother. It's okay. I think the wide angle is not even working right now. Try it. Okay,
Oh, it is.
prove me wrong. We'll use the one on me until the wide one until it dies out. Anyway, so basically I was living in Lebanon, like my whole family, we were living in Lebanon for about 5 years or 4 years, and then so we were locked out from coming to Australia because of COVID for 1 year. So that's why I started uni early online for Australia. For an Australian uni, from where I'm at right now, I did university online, but in Lebanon, which meant I had to do a lot of classes and stuff at night, in the middle of the night. So my sleep schedule was flipped. So it was like I had to sleep during the day, awake during the night, and that messes with your brain like a lot. And it seems like it doesn't seem that bad. Like for people that oh yeah, I stay up all the time. The first day that I did it, my mom's like, she said, "Oh, be careful because I know that something like doing this actually can mess with your brain. Some people get depressed." And I was like, nah, should be fine. I do this all the time. I used to edit. I used to stay up at night with my friends. It should be cool. And skip to me like that 1 month later. Nah, it was really bad. Mainly because you wake up and everyone's going to sleep.
Exactly. You're
And-
just there by yourself.
Yeah. And it's just you at nighttime. And then when you go to sleep, everyone's about to wake up. Yeah. And it's like, oh, bye. Hi. So, and another worst part was we didn't organize how my brother was going to sleep because he was sleeping in the same room. So I had to do it all with the lights off and my PC on with the light glaring and the light glaring, my eyes are just not taking it, all the math work and all that I was just writing and just having to do that. And I had to sleep like upstairs. There was like a part upstairs and there was no AC there. And it was just very long. Yeah. That taught me a lot of patience, actually.
Yeah.
I think that was the first point in my life that I switched to being more religious
Mm.
because I was like, you know what? There's nothing I can do about it. I have to do it. You know, I think if I do this, I will get so much ahead of my time. And now I'm obviously yearning the rewards, like, the rewards of me not, what's it called? Me doing that work then. How do I say? Like, I'm yearning the rewards now. You know what I mean? Like, because right now I don't have that many subjects. Your camera's turned off now, overheated.
Is actually.
Yeah, you can just switch it off and then no, don't, like, switch it off and then we can turn it back on later. Um, anyway, so like, this is the first time that I've yearned the rewards, is now. So it's a good thing. But the way that I got more religious about it was like, if I have to push through it. The only thing that can help me is the one that created me.
Exactly.
So I might as well just be religious in it. It's not even about being religious, just being more connected to God, and just being like, it's called in Islam like tawakkul, which is like having the trust in Allah, in God, that what happens is written for you. Like, it's gonna happen. You do your part. You plant the seed. You put the water, like, on the seed, on the plant, and then you can't make the plant grow. You have to wait and let God do His part and let it grow. If it so happens that there's a drought, then there's a drought. If it so happens that it becomes the best tree in the world, it's the best tree in the world. So that's the kind of thing that I learned during that time. So there's all these little things that help you learn. Anyway, so because of that, I had to do. There was one like subject that I had to do online, and then when we came to Australia in lockdown, we came and we had to do 2 weeks in a hotel. Me, my dad, and my brother. Luckily, it's random, by the way. They put us in like a 5-star hotel for 2 weeks,
No way.
so it was kind of a good thing. But what made it really bad
Yeah.
was on the last week I found out I had to redo my exam in lockdown in the hotel.
No way.
So I was just sitting there. It was like a death sentence for like a week, just being in the same room, just studying until the second last day, and I had to redo the exam.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, I passed.
Alhamdulillah.
But going back, so the reason why I was so bummed out that I failed an exam, like, I didn't fail, I failed by 1%, so which means you can redo it during the holidays, and if you redo it, then you don't have to redo the whole subject if you pass the makeup exam. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what happened was we were traveling, and like when I was in Lebanon, I found out that I didn't pass, and I was like, oh my God, why? I was begging, like, I tried so hard to get it to work. Like, I tried so hard to study and all of that. But what happened was, I thought the exam was the day after than what it actually was. So I slept the night before the exam, and then I opened up Discord on the university chat for the subject, and someone just says, "Oh, how are you ready for tomorrow, boys?" And I'm like, "Ready for tomorrow? What does it mean by tomorrow? I thought it was in 2 days." I checked it like twice. Am I tripping? Did they change it? And then I checked. This is at like 12 a.m. or like 1 a.m. at night. And then I send it to like my tutor, and I'm like, "Oh my God, tutor," like, in Arabic, because I'm like, I'm stuffed. We had one more chapter to study, just one more. So there was 12 chapters, and this one chapter stuffed me up in the exam because it came in the most, and it was the only one I didn't have time to study. I planned it so that I could study a chapter every single day until we get up to the exam, and then I miscalculated, and it stuffed me up. But so that's what like really annoyed me. I had to redo the exam during like coming back from travel, and so I was in Lebanon. We had to book a hotel in Lebanon right next to our house because there wasn't electricity working 24 hours at the time.
No way.
Yeah, and the internet was bad nonetheless. So
Of course.
and if I messed up this chance, I would have to redo the whole subject. This is the hardest subject that I've almost had to do. I do not want to do it again. So I clutched up. We booked a hotel. I did the exam, and I had the best sleep of my life. So yeah, for me, it's not about talent. It's really about hard work, and I always say, work hard at being smart. You know what I mean? You can be smart. You don't have. It doesn't have to be all physical. It doesn't have to be all. You're gonna quit school and be a tradie or something like that. Depends on if that works for you, that works for you. But I believe try your best to make it work for you by working hard at being smart. The smarter you are, the way that like if you the harder you work at being smart, the more effective like your outcomes will be. Because I believe almost everyone can work hard at being smart. There are exceptions, which that's fair, but I believe it's just a matter of laziness, and perseverance and discipline. All of those three. If you don't have those, then you can gain those, and by gaining those, that means if once you utilize those attributes in your workforce, in the way you go about everything in your life, then you're now utilizing the working hard at being smart. You're being smart. That's being smart. The time management, that's being smart. Everyone can time manage. Like I don't care what anyone says. Time management, anyone can do it. So everyone has the ability to work hard at being smart to a certain extent. So same with me. I work hard at being smart, but sometimes I put in 100% effort and I'll still fail. And that's just how it is. You know what I mean? So yeah, going back to 2022, um, I focused on a lot of work, just trying to get a bit of experience, and then by the end of it, we had like a meeting at the end of the year with all the cadets, and that was my first time I had to really explain, everything I've done. It was kind of like a little speech. It wasn't that long. It was literally like a 20-second thing that I spoke about, what I'm doing, what I learned, and then I made a joke in there saying like, oh, I've been a receptionist for a month. And because like we had to explain what we were doing, and I said, "Oh, I've been a receptionist for a month." Whatever. That was kind of funny. And obviously, I was a bit red. I remember the moment, a bit nervous, and not that it still doesn't happen till now. I still get nervous for these some of these certain things, but that was the first time that I'm like, I've made progress. I put like a pinpoint at the beginning of the year, pinpoint at the end of the year, and I'm like, I made progress this whole year. I've changed myself. You know. Can you say that you've done that?
Changed? Not a lot.
Okay. So now it's the time to start. Anyone listening that you think I haven't made too much progress, it's the end of Ramadan, or there's last 10 days. And even for myself, I haven't done too much in the last, in the first 20. At least if there's a time to start, the time is to start now. This is the best time, right? Put yourself a list, put yourself a goal, and put yourself a guide on how you're going to, like a map on how you're going to achieve those goals. If it means writing it down, write it down. I don't write everything down because I've just done it all the time in my head, so I'm just used to it. Yeah, but writing down does help because sometimes I forget a lot, maybe too much. So maybe I should write things more down. um, so yeah, I was able to see by the end of the year I made this much progress. And all of that was just learning good attributes, learning good behaviors, engaging with the world. That's life experience. 2023 comes. That's me working on the podcast, making it happen. How am I going to do that? That's life experience. Achieving the goals that you set out to achieve. Alhamdulillah, I'm very blessed to have the opportunity to be able to create this, and be supported, by friends and family. And obviously, I put in my own stuff as well. But to be able to get opportunities to have this room, for it to all work out was just so perfect. Alhamdulillah. Like it just worked exactly how, like it couldn't have gone any other way. The way that it happened was perfect. And it went through a lot of ups and downs and so many, little things. Like after each recording, we'd figure out, oh, we have this thing that we need to add. Oh, we have this thing we need to fix. We have this thing. It took like 10 episodes until we were able to be like, I don't think there's anything else we need on the podcast. I think we're perfect now. And then when we went to travel to Japan, I realized there's one thing I'm missing. We can't actually record with 4 mics, only 2. And then that's the last thing that I've had to learn for the podcast. And up until now, there isn't anything else. So there's still everything. There's so much you can learn. And so in 2023, I used that year to be the year of doing things, getting things done, right? Getting the stuff that I wanted to get done and just persevering, pushing through it. Because 2023 was the hardest university year for me. All my subjects were really hard. And it meant I had to put in a lot of effort, so I didn't work that year. I worked all of 2022, but 23, I didn't work. And that's a blessing. That's an opportunity that I was able to have, to not have to focus on it, be able to focus on education and get that done. Because if I was to focus on work too, I would have been all over the place. Things would not have worked out. So if you have that opportunity to be able to focus on education, and you're able to do a bit of work and time manage it, then perfect. Go ahead and do that. But for 2023, I didn't have that luxury to be able to do well in university and also be able to work properly in what I wanted to do. So I said, I'm going to put it on hold. I'm going to focus on, keep focusing on myself. I was still in the idea of marriage and, being able to find something possibly in the first half.
Yeah.
And then towards the later half, the later end, I started realizing I think I'm missing just being, just living. I think that's what I'm missing, because when you're living, like you're just, are we at 49 minutes or 40 minutes? Okay. Okay. When you're living, when you're getting that real life experience, like there's nothing else that can give you that except time, as I explained in the beginning of the episode. So as time goes on, I came to the realization that I need to search for, there's a couple things that I've made goals for myself. Because I stopped editing used to take up all of my hobby time. Any free time I had, it would be editing. So I didn't know what to do in my time where I was free. In the beginning, it was, writing something for my book, because I really want to write a book. I have an idea and I've been working on it, and it has its phases. So I'll work on it for a little bit, maybe a week or two, then I'll leave it for a couple months, and then the idea will come back. I'll write a bit more, and that's how it goes, right? It flows like that, and that's fine. It's it's a life project. I'll write a book eventually, inshallah, if I'm able to. So I had that to focus on, but it gets a bit boring. Like you hit a bit of writer's block, you get a bit, like I don't know what to do, and then there's a phase of I don't know what to do, and that's how the podcast idea came through. Being able to work on the next hobby, the next thing. I worked on it, and then I did, and then once I got to a point of, okay, we're able to run the podcast without having to use up all of our time. We made it the most efficient way possible. We don't have to record 3 different cameras and then edit it in the end. We just record it. I made it perfect so that we can just record it in one go and have live camera switching, which is what you do. And because of that, I gained a lot more time. And so I started studying a bit more Japanese, but then I didn't know where to begin fully. Like all I was doing was just vocabulary. And that's so 8 months ago, I started just hardcore learning vocabulary, and that's it. I didn't learn anything else except vocabulary. No grammar, nothing. A bit like Duolingo, like I did Duolingo, but it's not that great. It has really bad like teaching methods. The way that they will give you an example, they don't explain to you why things are. They just show you, and it's kind of like it doesn't work that well. And their sentences are a little bit weird and whatever. So I what was I saying?
Duolingo's not too good.
Yeah. So I was just doing vocabulary, and because of that, you would get a bit bored. It doesn't take up that much of your time. I'm not going to learn words 24 hours, in all my free time. So I had to search for something next, search for something new, and that was one of my, towards the end of the year, that was one of my goals, to find something to be able to take up my time when I have free time. You know what I mean? That, like, other than religious things like Quran reading, memorizing, and stuff like that, which obviously I need to do more of, and put that more in my life. There was something that I was missing, and like I didn't know. I that can only be gained through life. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna set 2024 as the year of learning, and it's like going back to 2022. 2022 was all about gaining attributes, okay, understanding the real world a bit more, understanding where my head's at. Actually no, going towards marriage is where my head's at. 2023 was understanding how I truly feel, and working on the things that I wanted to work on. And now this year, after the whole Japan trip, I came to like a realization. I've gained a lot more confidence through it. I can speak to women. I'm able. I've gained so much threw out something just like that. I always say every time I travel or do something, that just something about traveling always gives you like an advantage on your personality, advantage on your life experience and what you learn. I always, every single time I travel, I learn something. So that whole trip, everything that I did, I was able to gain a lot more. I was able to gain something. And so this year, I've made it the year of like gaining. I want to gain the knowledge enough to be able to do my own work, to be able to like by next year or the year after, be able to say, you know what, if I want to do something on my own, if I was to construct something, build a house, do something like that, I want to be able to do that myself and know how to start it. Maybe I won't be able to know everything, but I'll be able to know where to begin and all the steps that happen to go through it. Because at the moment, I know a lot in the process. I don't know how to start it or who to talk to and how it all connects. I can give you a brief, but I can't make it happen, right? So that's my goal. So that's why inshallah soon I'll be starting work again, hopefully, inshallah. So make dua, everyone listening, please pray for me that, I gain from it. So that's my goal for this year, to be able to gain something from it. And I put the whole idea of marriage on a bit of hold. I'm not seeking anyone. I'm not forcefully seeking anything. I would like if an opportunity came about, then it comes about. But at the moment, I am mainly trying to focus on being able to get myself more life experience, work experience, and just at least for the next year, 1 year or 2 years of that is plenty. I believe if you utilize the time enough, then 1 year is plenty, 2 years is plenty to be able to gain that. So it's a process, but by the end of it, I would be able to be able to start my own work, and then I don't have uni to worry about anymore at the end of the year, inshallah. Or if I was to do something, it would be something small, like a business acumen type stuff. But I don't have to come back home and be like, oh, I have these assignments, I have these things. It's just work now. I just have to focus on how am I going to get money kind of thing. And how am I going to use that to progress my life in a way. Our lives are very short, like it's just my main goal is to be able to figure out a pattern, a way to be able to work hard at being smart, be smart enough in how I work, utilize every opportunity, and then by the end of it, I'll be able to, for example, I want to go to Japan and do the exchange studies every year if I'm able to do that. So if I'm able to do that for 1 or 2 months during like work break and whatnot, I'll go ahead and do that. That's my goal. I'm going to make it happen, right? So, and another thing, if I want to, I don't know, like if I want to like travel somewhere, I want to do something like this. I want to live a bit more comfortably. To make it happen, you are the only one that's going to make it happen. Through obviously God's going to help you. He's the one that oversees it all. But you have to put yourself first. You have to be able to do it. So that's why throughout this whole podcast, 47 or 48 minutes later, I hope this gave you some motivation to be able to just show. This was me just showing you where I'm at and how I came to be about, from where I was, where my mindset started, and where I'm at right now. Like, why am I doing this? Why do I do this podcast? Right? I do the podcast. I'm not in it for money. Obviously, we're not gaining anything. We have 1,000 subscribers. Yay, woohoo, yay. But we have nowhere near the amount of watch hours that we need. Nowhere near. So remember my main goal? My main goal is to be able to get good deeds enough to be able to reach heaven, right?
Exactly.
So this is one of these assets that I use to be able to get good deeds. How am I doing that? To be able to inspire people like yourself that's listening and other people, and spread a positive message and make it fun whilst I'm doing it, because not a lot of people do that. A lot of people it's only fun, and because of that they put a lot of negativity in their haram, just things that it's just content, like reaching for content, you know what I mean? Whereas I'm not caring about that. If that's the same way that I did for editing. I didn't care about views. I edited because I just enjoyed it. And then because of that, at some point it clicked and a lot of people liked it. And then because of that, I had a lot more followers. I've lost like 30K followers now because I stopped, but that's fine because I didn't do it for the views, right? Now that I don't have a lot of that anymore, it doesn't matter, because the main goal is to go to heaven, to get those good deeds. So I stopped editing to be able to gain more good deeds. So now it doesn't matter to me that I've lost that the worldly side of things when it came to it. It hurts. It definitely hurts. It's not going to be easy to be able to give up something for the sake of God. But look, we were able to create a whole different thing. If I didn't stop editing, this wouldn't have existed, right? And so now that this exists, we create different opportunities. I would never have been like good friends with you, by the way. Like all these things would not have happened because like if I was to continue doing something that was displeasing to God, right? If I was to continue doing that, then like compared to the reality of what's right now of me, stopping that thing for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and for the sake of God, what we've gained out of this is so much more than what I would have gained out of that. I'm telling you right now that it was really high chance that I could have gained like a lot of money and a lot of followers because I was exponential growth. Like it hit, and then from like the skate edit and whatever, all of that, from that it was going up. I could have utilized it. I was about to make a pack where you sell editing stuff, and I know people would have bought that and that could have made thousands. But I said, I'm gonna stop it right there. And what I was going to gain out of that was not going to be anything more than just money and bad deeds by the end of it, and just that's it. Really, I don't gain out of that anything. But what I've gained from this is I've learned so much by being able to create all of this. I've learned so much. You can put it on the wide angle now because I'm just showing it. It's probably dead. Yep, there you go. You can go back to me. So like being able to create all of this, all of this is like I've learned so much from it by stopping something for the sake of God. So that's why I say, focus up, get your stuff going, use this. If you're listening to this and you're thinking like, I don't know, I just use this whole episode, listen back to it. I know I've ranted about different things and I went back to like 2022 all the way to now. But if you're going to take one thing from this video is just do it. And yeah, as soon as I say it, the camera goes off. You can put it on yourself and I'll come to you. All right. Never mind. There are no cameras working. It's okay. It'll be black for a second. Just one second.
I think so. That one's good. Just gotta flip it. It's off.
Oh yeah, Fez. Okay. Ready? And put it on that one. Right, there you go. Yo. This is the room, by the way. It's small. It's not big, but we make it work. Anyway, I don't know if you can really see me. Okay. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of EasyCast. Yeah, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. If you enjoy these solo episodes, how do you think it went? By the way,
Right.
I think it went okay. And I don't mind doing it again because I think I'm the only one that's gonna have the full motivation, or not motivation, but the full like effort to do this. Because obviously I was the one that made the idea and wanted it to all happen. So obviously everyone else is not going to have the same motivation to complete it. So I think me doing solo episodes is not a bad shout. Yeah, if there's one thing you gain from this, do it, get it done. Sorry for talking so much, but it's okay. It's okay. We learn. And I want to try and speak more slowly, by the way. I'm trying to speak more slowly and more profound because when I speak, I sometimes sound like water. I sound like water. Like I like even now when I'm speaking, I'll stutter a little bit and I have a little bit of a lisp. So it'll just kind of be like, it sounds a bit weird. So I'm trying to speak a bit more slowly. So maybe next episode I'll speak better. And maybe I'll mix in a bit of Japanese for those listening that are Nihonjin, which means Japanese people, by the way. Anyway, arigatou gozaimasu. Mata raishu. Yeah. Thank you. We'll see you guys next week on the next episode of EasyCast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us. What time is it right now? Let's end it exactly at 55 minutes. Actually, when it hits 54:59, you stop it. 59 exactly. So that it hits 55 on YouTube. So it'll be 55 because it always does 1 second extra. All right. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of EasyCast. Make sure you like, subscribe, and everything. Like, just do everything. I'm going to post clips again. I'm trying. I'm really trying. Okay. What is it at? Okay. I'm really trying. Trust me, I've updated all the episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. There's only one left from last week, and I'm gonna upload it tonight. Okay, so love you lots, and you know,
We're getting there.
yeah, we're getting there, and yeah, thank you guys. Also thank Morp and Stewie for joining. Anyway, thank you guys. I'll see you guys next.